Hello, everybody. Welcome to Everything in Poderation, because sometimes the internet can be too much. I am Robert, and I just bought my inflatable hot tub.
I'm Daley, and I'm already in said inflatable hot tub. Sorry, I couldn't wait on you guys.
Well, it's okay. Fucking you guys.
It was warmed up.
Okay. Firstly, I'm Colin. I'll say that. I'll say my name and get that done and over with. But like, I was gonna come in here and talk about how, like, you know, if we were actually on video, like live streaming this podcast or whatever, maybe Twitch streaming it, I would actually be shirtless and wearing a bathing suit. I was gonna say some stupid shit like that. But now I'm caught up in thinking about, like, how the fuck does a hot tub that's inflatable work? How do you have a hot tub that's inflatable?
Oh, thank you for picking up on that joke. I was worried it was gonna fly under the radar.
Wait. That's a thing. That's totally a thing.
An inflatable hot tub.
How does that work? How do you, what?
Little heater. Little hot water heater.
Like, you'd have to, like, what kind of material is that made out of that it can just be like a fucking hot tub?
Like, it's pretty sturdy. It's sturdier than your average inflatable kiddie pool, but it has like the little equipment on the outside that does the water heating, and maybe not as robust of a bubbling system as one might be used to, but the water can still be hot.
I mean, is it really a hot tub if you can't have, like, jets going in it?
Well, you know what they say, not every hot tub is a jacuzzi, but every jacuzzi is a hot tub.
Wait.
Okay, let's define what a hot tub is for this episode. It's very important.
This has been interchangeable my whole life. You guys are about to change my whole life right now.
So today we're talking about this weird Twitch trend. Maybe you've heard of it. I guess people are getting in hot tubs on Twitch. That's kind of weird, huh? So it's kind of been a thing. It's kind of been wild, and of course, just like everything else in the gaming space, it brushes up on what women can and can't do because men like to exert their dominance, I guess. So
yeah,
let's recount this whole Twitch hot tub saga, shall we?
It is a saga.
It is. So, per Twitch's guidelines, their nudity and sexual content guidelines, right? You cannot be overtly like sexual. Like, you can't have nudity on stream. You can't just like have sex or do very, very suggestive things on stream, which makes sense. You know, that's kind of Twitch's whole purview. It's like, it's just about the games, as many gamers think most games are. But they do have this little clause where as long as you are in a context appropriate setting, you can wear context appropriate clothing. For example, if you want to wear a swimsuit, that would make sense if you were near, say, a pool, a hot tub, or the beach, which has led to a lot of streamers to bring inflatable pools, inflatable hot tubs to their rooms, or like maybe out in their backyard or something, where they somehow film themselves near a pool of water in their bathing suits, in their swimsuits, often bikinis, and then play games.
Yeah.
Or chat.
Because then the context follows that
right.
You're not wearing a shirt, because then you'd get the shirt wet.
Right, we wouldn't want that.
Oh, no. No wet t-shirts on Twitch, please.
Right. So the original intent was, I mean, they're essentially just finding a loophole, and it's kind of like memeing on the fact that, yeah, we found this loophole. We're just going to bring in a whole ass hot tub now, and now it's turned into a thing. But like, So, I mean, what was the original intent though? Because I am actually fairly out of the loop when it comes to this thing. So like, was it just like, was it originally intended to be like a mild form of camming? Just on Twitch, but to make money? Like, is that what this is?
So, I think it could be argued that for a long time, since Twitch has been on, genuinely, there have been people on there that predicate their streams on the fact that they're hot and that people want to watch hot people do things, and that's fine. Like, if it can coexist on the same platform that people are speed running. Whatever. So in that sense, I don't want to call it like pseudo camming, but it's you're hanging out with hot people in chat and giving them money for being hot.
Yeah. Like, in some ways I see it as like I mean, for one, it's very clever right? I mean, it's a very creative solution to a problem that I think is very fun. And regardless of how Puritan your values are, I think that should at least be applauded in like how creative and crafty the solution is, right? Because it's like we'll bring the hot tub to us, right? Like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't really normally think of that, but now it's like, well, of course, everyone's doing it now. But I also think it's a way that, I mean, I can't speak for these women, obviously, but it's in a weird way kind of like reclaiming their power or their sexuality, right? Because I mean, if people like Eric Estevillo from last
Our
week's
boy.
episode,
Oh
The
man.
man himself.
are just gonna curate their Twitch streams to follow titty streamers anyway, like, isn't it kind of rad that these women are like, no, we're gonna own it in this really cool and creative way by bringing the hot tubs to us?
Yeah. Because most of the time the quotes go something like, there's going to be a bunch of people in chat saying like, show your tits, show your boobs, like bend over or whatever. Anyway,
Right.
they're going to be sexualizing me anyway, so I might as well be getting paid to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there like I don't know if it would be considered Rule 34, but like it, if there be a platform where you can put content, there's guaranteed to be some sort of pornography or not pornography, like adjacent content, on
Like
said
sexually
platform.
charged content.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like if there's a platform that's like a thing to have, I don't know if that would be put under Rule 34. I think it's a little bit different. I don't know if there's a separate internet rule for that. But the point being, like, yeah, I mean, it's an easily accessible, it's a big platform. It makes sense that that's where people would want to do these sorts of things. So, like, I mean, they're essentially, I guess, still a private company. They're Amazon owned, right? So they're considered a private company, right? They're not public. So, like,
Amazon doesn't own us yet.
Well, but Amazon is a publicly traded company.
wow, that's true.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the logistics are there, but the point is, like, I mean, everywhere has their guidelines, but like, they're taking advantage of guidelines, and it's not really their fault, right? It's Twitch's fault.
I mean, Twitch at this point has the power to be like, no, yeah, we're going to make like a camming section where it's just full on, like, you can be as naked as you want. They could do that without
Right.
any repercussions that I know of. But they've essentially made the guidelines around like, okay, if your hot tub stream is going to show up beside someone's run of Minecraft that a small child may or may not be watching, then we're going to have to make some stricter guidelines to make sure that like the 13-year-olds aren't watching sexually charged content.
Right. And I think that's the trouble Twitch is trying to sort through right now, right? Because there's
I
no
see.
like 18 plus only section of Twitch, right? There's
Yeah.
no like where you can opt in, like you can verify your age on the internet, because everyone knows that's an ironclad way to make sure only 18-year-olds and older.
I've been 18 since I was 12.
Mhm. So that's kind of the thing Twitch is trying to sift through right now, is that up until fairly recently, they've had this category called just chatting, where exactly what it sounds like. It's people who don't necessarily play games or just chilling and chatting about stuff, right? And within that category were a bunch of hot tub streamers as well. So now you had this problem where within one category, a, let's say, 13-year-old impressionable child could see both Hasanabi and Amaranth, which, granted, I would almost say maybe a 13-year-old shouldn't check out either of them for different reasons.
Perhaps.
But nonetheless, they both existed in the same category. And this has led to some problems. This has led to a lot of people being very angry about the hot tub meta, right? Which is, I mean, it's sort of been around since 2020, but it like really took off starting in March 2021-ish. But Twitch has kind of cracked down on a few people. Like, they cracked down on Indie Fox, they cracked down on Exohydra X, which, when you say that username out loud, it's very, very horny in a way.
It's a little horny.
yeah.
Those X's are horny X's.
Mm-hmm. But they were all banned for trying to sell, quote unquote, sell subs, or like for suggestive content, right? Even though they weren't breaking any rules, because according to the rules, swimwear is okay if you are near a contextually appropriate place, e.g. a pool.
Context.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say that the big one is on May 18th, when out of nowhere, Twitch pulled advertising from Amaranth, queen of hot tubs. They pulled ads from her channel.
Yeah, she was definitely one of the first people to jump on being in a tub, being in a hot tub. And she had already kind of perfected the formula as far as like being, how do I want to word it? I guess like a little bit more of a sexually charged stream in terms of like, let's play Just Dance and like I'll do various dance moves for amounts of subs, etc.
Yeah, I mean, it's not surprising that with like the growth of Twitch's platform, I'm actually surprised that a lot of this stuff didn't get cracked down on earlier. Honestly, I don't know, because especially after I had read their Twitch's statement about like them creating a new hot tub category. I mean, a lot of it read to me like a YouTubeification of Twitch. Basically, they're going the route of a lot of what YouTube's policies have changed to be in about like the past 5 or so years. About, you know, we won't advertise, but only on certain content. We have the right to put advertisements, but also brands have the right to pull out of certain content as well. So it was a lot of that. But there was one particular paragraph in the statement that stuck out to me, and I'm sure we'll link it in the show notes down below if you guys want to check it out yourself. But it's I think the second paragraph. It says, much of the conversation we've seen has focused on the people who are streaming this and similar content, including assumptions about their motivations and intentions. And we want to make a few things clear. First and foremost, no one deserves to be harassed for the content they choose to stream, how they look, or who they are, and we will take action against anyone who perpetuates this kind of toxicity on our service. Second, while we have guidelines about sexually suggestive content, and then this next part is in bold, being found to be sexy by others is not against our rules, and Twitch will not take enforcement action against women or anyone on our service for their perceived attractiveness. Interesting.
Mr. Estevillo, he had that long list of some of the 700 some women that he followed and was like, they're too sexy for Twitch. Ban them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Get them off this platform.
Get them out of here.
Trying to essentially pin down something extremely amorphous. A lot of people are putting that on Twitch essentially to do that when it's how, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Twitch is kind of in between a rock and a hard place right now, right? Which, poor phrasing. But
in a rock hard throbbing place, if you know what I mean.
Oh, man.
I don't. Can you explain that one, Daley?
Nope, I can't.
Oh, okay.
You want to go any deeper,
no other
wink,
context.
wink, nudge, nudge on that? Yeah.
Because I think, writing's been on the wall for a while now about Twitch kind of being more and more like YouTube in terms of they're really there to appease their shareholders, not the people, the content creators, right? Or the fans. YouTube's been this way for a long time, which if the YouTube algorithm is listening, we love YouTube. So it's great.
Yay.
Good platform.
Susan, we love you.
Our YouTube content monitoring overlords.
Mm-hmm. I sure hope there won't be an ad right after this. So Twitch is kind of falling into that same hole, right? Where as we know now with the whole Amaranth thing, what they in that blog post that Colin mentioned, they justified their actions against Amaranth as the brands wanted us to take away advertising from that channel, therefore we did it. We should have told Amaranth first, but that's the explanation. And here's the thing, next time this happens, same shit. Twitch is not going to tell whoever that streamer is. They're just going to take away the ads, and they're going to release a statement 3 days later saying we should have told them, but the brands wanted us to take away the ads, because the brand's happiness comes first now, right?
Yep.
And maybe that's a side effect of it being owned by a super corporate company. Maybe that's what Twitch has always been like. It's hard to say, but the fact of the matter is, just like with YouTube, if you make a video where you say fuck once, you won't get an ad on it because it's evil content, right? It's
evil.
Not brand safe content.
Yeah. The fuck word is evil.
It is. Yeah.
Can I get that on a t-shirt?
Yeah.
I will make that t-shirt. Check it out in the link below. Limited edition the fuck word is evil t-shirt. Yeah, the only way that I think Twitch really did a good job of covering its ass as far as in this statement is that they put themselves 100% not on the side of people that are just being angry because of women flaunting their sexuality on a platform that's just for gaming. It should be just for serious gaming. I should only be seeing serious gamers drinking G Fuel on here at all times.
Right.
They did a good job by separating themselves by saying like literally like it's not against our rules for sexy people to be sexy on our platform.
Yeah. I'm glad they said that too.
Right.
Because that's the two camps of anger people is that people are like, you shouldn't be sexy. And then there's people who are like, okay, yeah, you can be sexy, but we need more like, I guess, context. And like, what if I don't want to run into the sexy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was just going to say that like I think it's just ridiculous from the offset that someone can just shout like, this person's being too hot. Guys, being too hot.
To give them as much credit as we can, it's not just that. It's think of the children, right? That I think is the underlying
some pearl clutching going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with that, I mean, they even mentioned like the perceived assumptions of like people's motivations in that camp of like the anti-sexy camp. Because think of the children, it's like these succubuses are
succubi.
Thank you. These succubi are begging for money from underage children with their bodies. And that money could have gone to a Minecraft speedrunner who is more deserving of that money than Amaranth in a pool.
Yeah, but then at that point, like once you start assigning money to a level of, I don't know, skill achievement, it's like you're kind of that's not the game that Twitch is, right? Because if it's that, then it should be like a tournament every month to see who worked the hardest on their stream this month, and then they get all the money, right? Like, no, come on.
Yeah, and that's assuming like you're basically going based on the assumption that there's an inherent value to anything, right? What someone values and where they spend their money is up to every individual. You know, like
I will spend my money on Genshin Impact if I want to.
Yeah. Daley can spend money wrongly on Genshin Impact all she wants. Just like I can spend money on, I don't know, buying another game or fucking, if I want to throw money at someone's OnlyFans, I can do that too. It shouldn't make a difference to anyone else. Yeah.
And I also do want to point out that inherent is sexism, which happens a lot in the games industry, believe it or not.
What?
Of that, so
what
the assumption
mean?
there, right? Of being like, okay, so a Minecraft speedrunner, which now that I think about it, can you? Oh no, there is a story mode in Minecraft. Yeah, I guess you could speed on that. A Minecraft speedrunner inherently works harder than someone like Amaranth, right? Where I would argue, at the very least, it's not like Amaranth just kind of on a whim decided I'm going to wear a bikini and do this on a stream, right? Like there's work that has to be done, like let alone the idea of like for her to be that attractive, you don't just wake up and are that attractive. Like you have to work at it.
I woke up
physically.
Like this.
Yeah.
But Beyonce said that, so it must be true.
That's true. But, you know, so there's a lot of work she has to do in making herself look as good as she does, right? But then there's also just the work of like gaming the system, right? Like it isn't easy to just get a hot tub, inflate the hot tub, and then do the stream and craft it in a way and be like quote unquote on like to the public for
right.
I don't know how long her streams are on average, but I doubt they're just 30 minutes.
8
hours. Yeah. 8 straight hours that shit.
What? Wait, is that real?
Yep.
8 straight hours in a hot tub.
Girl streams long time. There might be breaks from the hot tub streams, but her streams average on 8 hours.
Yeah. So like to inherently assume that a Minecraft speedrunner, probably a guy, it works harder than a hot tub streamer like Amaranth. I don't know. I just get a lot of like women don't have to work hard vibes from that.
Mm-hmm. You just sit there and look pretty. You get money from that.
That's like I don't know, that reminds me of the argument of with like dating apps of how like, you know, men get next to no matches, but women get all the matches. It's like, yes, that may be true, but women are also getting an extremely high amount of low quality matches.
And dick pics. High amounts of dick
and they're
pics.
also dealing with a shitload more harassment. So there's like a lot of negativity is just happening in different places there. You know what I'm saying? And in different forms. So like, I don't know, man. I don't just because, being on for 8 hours, I can't get over that. That's ridiculous. That's so much.
Yeah.
It's talking to your very toxic chat for
exactly.
8 hours a day.
Not only just being on for 8 hours, but being harassed for 8 hours.
Yeah, well, because that's the thing, right? Is it's not just because I sat in on 10 minutes of one of Amaranth's streams for the show, and like, it's not just a flood of positivity in the chat, or even like a flood of like positive horniness. There was
negative horniness.
Yeah, well, there was negative horniness, but also just the occasional like, this is
a positive horniness.
Yeah, but there was also some, this is awful and absurd. This is so, like, think of the children. What you're doing is ruining our culture, and this is why. And it's like, I mean, I'm sure, she doesn't, like, well, I guess, I don't know. I can't really say. I mean, she might take that to heart, but you do see that on her streams, and it's so odd to me that these people who think she's awful take the time out of their day to watch one of her streams to then tell her she's awful in a flood of chat,
Man, some people donate money to streamers that they hate in order for them to get their hate messages through, where it's like, I hate you, what you're doing is awful, you should commit some kind of bodily harm to yourself. Also, here's $5.
Mm-hmm. Well, what kind of fucking spiteful person do you have to be like, here's $50, but also fuck you? Like,
yeah.
Folks in Twitch chat, y'all.
I mean, at that point, it's like, thanks for the $50. That's it, really, right?
Yeah, okay. Listen, dude, if someone wants to pay me $50 fucking just to tell me to go fuck myself, send it all my way. All right. Yeah. Like, listen, if you guys want to like come at our podcast and shit all over us, but you're going to give us money to do it.
Yeah. So
like the money part should be part of that. Please don't do the other part without paying us.
Yeah.
So that's why we're opening up our tip jar today.
Link below. Check us out.
Link below. You have to tell us fuck off, or else you can't donate.
Maybe we should have.
Don't compliment us. We'll just get angry.
Maybe we should have with that cancel culture episode. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's where we are now. We are now in a post pools, hot tubs, and beaches category world on Twitch, where now anything like hot tub related is not in just chatting anymore. It is in a new category called pools, hot tubs, and beaches. And if you are doing a hot tub stream and you put yourself in just chatting and the Twitch mods notice it, they're gonna whoop you on over to the hot tubs category. That's where you should be. And that's kind of their Twitch's solution to, I mean, it's not like an 18 plus only category or anything, right? But that's where all of the hot tub streams are now housed.
Yeah. And I don't think it would be fair to say that all hot tub streams are inherently 18 plus. I know that like Pokimane and the Offline TV House did it felt very much like, we're 12 years old and my dad will let us use the hot tub, and everyone is like fully clothed in the hot tub. Very wholesome. It would be jarring to see something like that in an 18 plus category, because it's like, okay, are they going to start fucking? Like, what's going to happen here?
Yeah, there's an inherent implication here, and that I can see how that gets extremely messy. So I think of someone fully clothed in a hot tub. I think of, there was like a skit in iCarly somewhere where they're like, I remember the video that they made with Fred where like cabbages, and they had like cabbages rain down on them while they were in a hot tub. And it's like
the original hot tub stream was on iCarly, y'all.
Mm-hmm. That was the progenitor.
God, remember that was just the age of LOL random. What a time.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, it wouldn't make sense for it to be 18 plus either, right? Because I mean, still on Twitch's TOS, right? It's no nudity, right, and no sex or sexually suggestive content, right? So even on these hot tub streams, like, it can't get too explicit, but I can definitely get sexually charged, let's say. Perhaps my favorite thing to come out of this hot tub stream category right now is all of the otters. And like, are you guys familiar with this? The otters?
Okay,
No.
wait. very important distinction. Are we talking about the animal or the slightly hairy, slightly muscular kind of men?
Well, there are both. There are hairy, muscular men also getting in on this hot tub craze. And then there are a few even who kind of like cross-dress, like LOL, isn't it funny that I'm cross-dressing, which might be problematic in a different way. But there are actual animal otters, like a Vancouver aquarium and like a California-based like mammal rescue are streaming now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it's just a live cam of just the otters having fun in their big-ass quote-unquote hot tub. I also saw one, this is probably one of my favorites. It's from a Twitch streamer called Khaleesi Live TV, who I think she does like normal gamer stuff, but she had a stream on Saturday called Thickest Chicks and Their Petite Friends, hot tub content, relaxing ASMR sounds, plus 18 adult content, merch, socials, feed, birds. And it was just a bunch of birds.
And there's the secret. Out. It was in there.
Yeah, it was just birds hanging out in a little like water stream thing and just like feeding on water.
Like duckies?
Like it was like little like chickadees.
Chicks?
Yeah, like chicks. Yeah.
Oh, like flying, like the flying kind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
they might have been like woodpeckers. Yeah,
I'm in.
But it was just cute. It was like, okay, this is the hot tub content I want.
Yes.
Bird bath.
I want birds. I want live streamed birds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're going to say something, Colin?
I don't know. I just, this whole thing is just, yeah. I see how it's a complicated issue, but it from the branding perspective, it just comes across like, yeah, Twitch is going the way of YouTube, guys. That's the news here. And it's like, is that really surprising? Twitch is just such a huge platform that, you know, you start bringing in advertisements. I mean, you have such a big platform, people are going to put all sorts of content on there. It's going to range, and we're in a growing pains period, but also dealing with sexism too. I don't know. It's a whole can of worms.
Yeah, I'd say because of the gamer label associated with Twitch, that unfortunately like the sexism is ramped up a little bit. Because of the, like Robert was saying earlier, the weird belief that it's like, this is what Twitch should be like. You should be focusing on games. And some people still have that weird belief that women don't belong in games, or if they do, they should be behaving in a certain way, etc., etc. So it's this was going to happen. I think this was more of an inevitability rather than like a random blip in the Twitch culture.
Yeah, I think that was what I was kind of getting at too. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad it's resolved itself in the way that it has, that they made it less into a cultural issue and more into like a user experience issue, where it's like, hey, a lot of people that probably aren't looking for hot tub streams have been seeing hot tub streams. Let's put them in context and give them their own category.
Yeah. I mean, they're taking essentially what is, like Daley said, a usability issue, and then turning it into a thing of like identity and entitlement, and just like the children and blah blah blah. Which the gaming association is funny, because then it makes me think of the way Discord is going now, because I feel like Discord is like, first and foremost, it was for gamers when that initially came out as a platform. Granted, different use case. But it was marketed hard towards gamers, but now they're kind of shifting to be a little bit more general for general use, because the platform is just so incredibly useful. I mean, we're talking to each other through Discord right now as we speak. Like,
hey,
Discord is an extremely powerful and well optimized platform, you know, and the company realized that like this has greater use beyond just talking for people that play games together. This is like something that could be used like in corporate business and things like that. So I think that's the sort of like growing pains that Twitch is going through right now. It's just that the use of Twitch, which is live streaming, comes with a lot more different complications.
Yeah. When you have the corner of the market on live streaming, you're going to get some confusion as to like what is supposed to be on there. I mean, didn't Donald Trump have a Twitch account at one point.
That
He
was
did,
then
and it
banned.
got banned. Yeah.
And then it got banned. And then Bernie Sanders had like politicians are getting on this. It has become like Twitch is becoming way more mainstream, and I think that there's going to be some claw marks left in it by the gamers. The gamers. This is our thing.
Yeah, it's wild to me that the hashtag the gamers can be the same people who say Aloy from Horizon Forbidden West needs to be hotter or else. But then they also say titties on my Twitch. How could you? It's like, pick one, dude. Pick one form of misogyny. I can't handle both.
I will do both.
You know,
will not stop me.
Do you guys honestly think that there's like, is the Venn diagram there a circle, do you think? With those two groups of people?
Realistically, no, but I think they share very similar values. They're both very like inherently conservative values to me.
There definitely are overlap. I just, that's one of those, the whole thing with Aloy and like being mad that, did you know that human women have hair?
Just period?
Like on their bodies, just period dot, like not just on the very top of their scalps and eyebrows.
Mm-hmm.
I know that might be like absolutely sickening to you, but it's facts, y'all.
Yeah, I'll have to look up the piece again, but I remember actually seeing a headline from some sort of gaming or tech outlet that apparently Activision has banned like some 300,000 players from Call of Duty. 350,000 players from Call of Duty for, I think it was either racist or sexist comments.
Mm-hmm. Or usernames too.
And chats, and it's like, that's crazy. Like, that's not like, I get that Call of Duty has a massive player base of millions of players. It's huge, but like, that's not a small number, dude. Like 350,000. That's so much. Like that to me just says that there's still a big problem in this section of the gaming community. Yeah.
Like this could be an entire episode in and of itself, because like there's people and I don't think that they were saying it as a troll, because I've seen it so prolifically of people saying that like when you have like heated gamer moments, sometimes slurs just happen, or like they just used a gamer word.
Oh my god, I hate that.
The gamer word being like a slur.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean,
get out of here with that shit.
It started with PewDiePie, right? That one shot of him playing PUBG, and he said the N word, right?
Yeah.
And
it was
everyone
like it was a gamer moment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's like what started it, but that's like what comes to my mind when people say shit like that. It's like, okay, even like, yes, he was heated. Yes, that was a epic gamer moment or whatever. But that still implies that when it comes down to it, when he's frustrated, one of his go-to words as an insult is the N-word. Like, that's the problem. As a
gamer.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, guys. I said that. I just had, I had too much G Fuel before I hopped on this match today, and just kind of slipped out.
Yeah.
G Fuel, please sponsor us. We will not have heated gamer moments that will harm your brand.
No, we will drink your brand all day on stream.
We will fill in the hot tub. Has someone done that?
Probably.
Well, just fill an entire hot tub full of G Fuel.
Actually, yeah, I'm not sure if G Fuel sponsors any hot tub streamers. If they did, it'd probably be Amaranth, because she's the biggest one. But
yeah.
Yeah. So I did spend an hour on Saturday actually just like trudging through the hot tub category. And
steamy.
Robert's doing God's work over here,
unfortunately. and can I tell you guys some of the observations I found?
Please do.
So the animals, that's one of the highlights, right? And that was by no means the only ones. Of course, I checked out some of the big names like Amaranth, and honestly, her stream's kind of boring. I mean, only like 10 minutes of it, so who knows? Maybe I missed the epic gamer highlights, right, of her streams. But it was just her in a hot tub, occasionally playing Just Dance, and something I've noticed a lot of these streamers have is like a subs goal. And it's usually tied, I mean, that's streamers in general, right? But they're usually tied to like, I'll change my bikini after this many subs, or I'll do this dance, or I'll do squats or something. Something definitely kind of like hinting at sexual stuff in some way, shape, or form. So I found that pretty interesting. And on Amaranth's stream, you know how most streamers have like biggest donation, or like people who like the person who donated the most to the stream.
Top dono, yeah.
Yeah. Hers was biggest D.
Nice.
Oh man.
Yeah, sure.
Contextually, it makes sense.
It does, yeah. I checked out Exo Hydra's. She also just plays COD. I think like Modern Warfare is what she was playing. I mean, she's pretty good. I mean, like better than me, I would say, in that short gameplay I saw. But like most of the screen was her in the hot tub, which makes sense for these streams. I found one that was just workouts, like just stretches and workouts, no gaming, but it was in front of a pool with cosplay.
Okay.
And this one I think was very interesting to me. It's the streamer called Unicorn19, sponsored by Duolingo.
Like the owl that really wants me to learn Spanish.
Yes, but this time it's Korean. So I didn't know this about Twitch because I don't go on it too often, but you can make teams on Twitch, right? And Duolingo has a team. Like the company Duolingo, it's an official Duolingo team where the idea is all of these streamers are supposed to help teach you like Russian, Korean, Japanese, Spanish, whatever, like whatever their native language or the other language they speak. It's kind of just like streams where you can ease into the language and like hear someone speak it in a casual space.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very smart.
I'm down.
And when I looked at their teams list on this afternoon, it was a lot of like double-digit viewers. And then Unicorn had like 700. I was like, what's she doing? Hot tub.
Hot tub language teaching, speaking.
Well,
I'm down.
She didn't talk much either. So I'm kind of like, I think this is just hot tub.
Did you learn anything?
No, I didn't hear her speak Korean much or
Did you
English
learn-
much. She didn't speak much.
Did you learn the Korean word for hot tub at the very least?
Mm-mm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was just her with her the trick is her name's Uni and then her dog's name is Corn, so Unicorn. It's very cute. Yeah, it's
Corn
cute,
the
right?
Dog.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, there's a dog. She's just in the hot tub with a dog, and it's a very cute stream. But it's like in terms of the mission of being a Duolingo streamer, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I were someone who were earnestly, trying to learn Korean, I don't know if I would. Yeah.
You don't know. Maybe there was a whole section and she's like, all right, guys, now that we've had a break, get out your vocabulary books and turn to page 394. Let's get this.
Yeah, but don't drop it in your hot tub.
Careful, don't get, so the word soggy in Korean is, I don't know what that would be, but,
yeah. And perhaps my favorite stream, I think you two would really like this one a lot. It's called Hot Tub Uncle Iroh.
Is it him in the hot tub because he made his own hot tub?
Well, no, it's the shot from the anime or the cartoon, right? From Avatar. It's just a loop of him chilling in the hot tub. And it's lo-fi chill hip hop beats playing in the background.
Perfect.
And occasionally like a quote from Uncle Iroh, like one of his really smart words of wisdom kind of quotes just plays every now and then. And that's it. That's the whole stream.
I'm on board.
I love it. I was going to ask you, how many men did you see, if any?
Oh, yeah.
Is Uncle Iroh included?
Let's not include Uncle Iroh.
Two. One of them was a cross-dressing one. I think he's like an NBA 2K streamer as well. And then another one was just him in his swim trunks.
Are men allowed to be shirtless on Twitch?
The swim trunks dude didn't seem to have problems, but
all right.
Yeah.
That is two more men that I thought we were going to hear about. So,
because that's where I can see there being a demand. Like, believe me, like women are just as horny as men. Except I think we do a better job sometimes as a group handling that horniness, perhaps because we have been shamed as a group to not have horniness. But anyway, again, a whole nother podcast. I was wondering when like the husbandos would get on this and be like, husbando stream, hot tub stream, I'll write your name over my heart kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. And I could totally see it. Like, if hot tubs really takes off, I'm getting the sense that like we might have seen the peak of it and it's kind of just going to be a fad from now on. I think Amaranth is still going to do well, and some of the other big names as well. But
I am wondering if, like, because there's not as much controversy associated with it, if there's going to be a drop off of viewership as far as like people being like, oh, I don't feel like neat watching anymore. I don't feel like it's an exclusive thing that we're waiting for Twitch to shut down now that Twitch has officially accepted it.
Yeah, like it doesn't feel as taboo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
taboo sexy.
So I can't recall. Twitch, do they already put advertisements on smaller like content creators, even if you don't like opt into having ads or are officially sponsored?
I don't know about smaller content creators because I haven't like watched too many, but
Gotcha.
But that actually does bring up a good point. Is I did still run into ads while trudging through this hot tub shit.
Ah, yeah. Fair point, yeah.
So ads are back on board, right? And I got ads for I got 3 separate click it or ticket ads. Like, as in, wear your seatbelt when you drive.
Wear your seatbelt.
Mm-hmm.
It's telling you.
And, okay.
To be fair, this was all in an incognito window, not logged in. So.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering if is this algorithm stuff for you personally?
Right. I got one for Tropicana juices. So I guess you got to stay hydrated when you're checking out hot tub streams.
Sure, yeah. Sugary fruit juice.
Got to keep that blood sugar up.
Yeah.
Guitar Center's Memorial Day event. Did you know that happened?
Yeah.
And
a company guitars,
called,
man. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And a company called Nair for like hair removal via wax.
Okay. Did you not know about Nair before this?
No, that was my first time running into them.
Yeah, it's like oftentimes it's like baby's first shave. Gotta shave your legs, you should Nair them. It's just it's gonna sound scary. It's acid that just in a lotion form that eats away the hair.
Oh, okay.
But it's less scary than shaving because you won't bleed. You could get an acid burn, but you won't bleed.
And that's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those were the ads I got. So I guess those 4 companies don't care as much about the sanctity of Puritan values. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I just gotta get them guitars, bro.
Yeah, I'd be very interested, I guess, in what companies would be like. Twitch, you need to clean up your act. I don't want to have my product seen beside these scantily clad women in hot tubs. Like, definitely. I can't off the top of my head imagine a brand that would be like Twitch.
Chick-fil-A. Maybe.
Chick-fil-A.
All right.
Yeah. That's where my head went.
Does Chick-fil-A even try to stream on Twitch? It sounds too queer for them in general.
Yeah.
Because there's now the tagging system and you can see that there's LGBT folks on there.
Mm-hmm. I can't say I've ever seen a Chick-fil-A ad, period, in my time on YouTube and Twitch.
Do they need advertisement?
Wait, does Probably YouTube not. TV count? Like live TV? Because when I was in South Carolina, when I was visiting parents, like they had YouTube TV, which is like the live TV equivalent of YouTube. And they would run ads. Chick-fil-A would be one of those ads.
Yeah, but I feel like that's just cable TV in a different form, right?
Basically.
Yeah, with extra steps.
Yeah,
this is just cable with extra steps.
Honestly, I swear to God, it was more ads than regular cable TV.
Woof.
I believe it.
Yeah, it was actually infuriating. I had to like walk out of the room because I was just getting fed up with how many ads there were. And how loud they were too. They fucking crank the volume anytime the ads come up too.
Jeez, for like $80 a month. Oof.
Yeah, it's fucking
obnoxious. 80. Oh my God.
Dude, I told my parents, I was like, why do you guys need this? This is dumb. I could literally watch Netflix right now with no ads. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Painful.
It is painful. Just like dealing with gamers on the internet, it can be painful.
Gamers.
Yeah. So now I feel like we're nearing, the end of at least where I'm at with this hot tub thing. So I think it's a good time to maybe like have a little bit of a holistic discussion here. Now that we've laid out all the groundwork for where the hot tub meta came from and where it's at now, how do you two feel about it in general? Do you think it's good that they're on Twitch, or do you think it's bad that they are on Twitch?
It's like, unless you're invested in that, it should just be a net neutral. like that they are on that platform. That platform is the live streaming platform, and a live streaming platform of this size is going to attract all kinds. So if you should be equally fine with the like Minecraft speedrunner as you're equally fine with the hot tub streamer, as you're equally fine with like someone live streaming building a birdhouse.
Yeah, I'm with Daley on this one. I think they can coexist. Twitch is a massive platform. YouTube's a massive platform, and YouTube definitely has some very sexually charged content on there. Like, you can see a lot of sexual content on YouTube. Whether or not it's been
a dick on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can see titties on YouTube if you find certain videos. But like, yeah, so I think it can all coexist. They just need to figure it out from a usability perspective, and it can all be there. And I mean, I think it's only going to draw more traffic to their website, so they have nothing but things to gain from fixing it from a usability perspective and just letting it hang out and exist there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, me personally, like, yeah, I mean, yeah, they can make their content all they want. I think people should be able to make the content they want to make, and if there's a viewership for it, then so be it.
So be it.
Yeah, like in some ways I can understand the like think of the children vibe, just because, you know, like if I had a 5-year-old and he was like interested in checking out Pokemon live streams because he had shit taste, I would be a little worried if like right next to it you could see like more sexually charged content, right?
Sure.
So I get where they're coming from with it, but to go as far as to like restrict it completely and say like, hey, don't have this ever on Twitch is a bit too much to me. You know, it's a little too Puritan. It's a little too, we're scared of sex is the vibe I get from it, which can be very annoying. And honestly, I also think that it's just another way at attacking sex work as a profession, because something else I noticed too while trudging through a lot of these hot tub streams is many of them link to their link tree, which links to their OnlyFans, right? Or their Patreon, which was like a lewd Patreon of some kind, right? And if you were to take the Twitch factor out of it, I feel like that would limit their ability to network or like advertise themselves as well. Mm-hmm. Right? Because all of a sudden, like, I mean, Twitch is this massive platform where you can get yourself in front of a lot of eyes, and to be banned on it just because people are scared of nudity, that probably harmed their bottom lines, you know?
Yeah. Especially the demand's there. The demand exists on Twitch. That's the reason why the hot tub streams happen in the first place, is because people were like, yeah, do it. Stream in a hot tub. I'd love that. Yeah.
I mean, my argument goes back to the argument I make on pretty much anything where it's like a think of the children situation, right? Like, yes, from a usability perspective, like Twitch could probably do what most other streaming platforms do already, and that's just make like a for kids filtered version when you sign in or whatever, right? Like, you know, because
worked out so well for YouTube.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's not working out super well for YouTube, but it's there, and they're at least trying. And then Netflix has like a for kids section, right? So they can do something similar on Twitch. Hopefully the execution's better. But at the same time, like, anytime I hear think of the children, it's like, in most cases, it's more like, no, motherfucker, you should think of your own children, right? Like, it's on you as a parent to raise them and look out for the content that they're consuming. It's the same thing when anything with like video game violence gets brought up, or, you know, because I mean, the ESRB exists for a reason, and it's on you as a parent to be familiar with the sort of content your child is consuming. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's that simple. All right. I mean, when kids get to a more exploratory age, they start looking for shit like that. I mean, that's a whole other conversation, right? But like, at the end of the day, if you're raising kids and you're worried about that sort of thing, just fucking talk to your kids. I mean, like, it's not everyone else's job to raise your kids for you.
Yeah. And typically I would say that the think of the children argument is usually used in bad faith anyway. Absolutely. To just purport like some conservative value, where it's like, well, we shouldn't normalize women in hot tubs on Twitch because children, when actually the motivation is like, you have control over your body. Stop that.
Like, Daley, are you implying that a lot of anti-trans bills across the United States are being pushed forward because of a think of the children argument? That is absurd and ridiculous and would never happen in the real world.
No.
That's happening in the real world.
It's happening right now in the real world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Caitlyn Jenner literally wants there to be like a council of are you trans enough for children.
But think of the children, Daley.
No, stop thinking about children,
Okay.
you pervs.
wow. Okay, that sounds like a whole other conversation.
That is a whole other
It
thing.
is.
Okay. Well, I was playing. I'm just gonna take this conversation. I'm gonna take a step forward, a step up onto my soapbox here for just a minute. The thing is with a lot of controversial things, maybe sexual things, a lot of mature content. I mean, I'm sure you guys all know someone or have been friends with someone that had like just grew up with parents that tried to shelter the ever living hell out of them, right? Just extremely sheltered, like try to block a lot of that shit out of their life, acted like it doesn't exist. Like, oh, we can't talk about sex. We can't, sex before marriage, blah, blah, blah. We can't have any of these conversations about stuff that truly exists and how the world is and things like that. And that shit bothers the hell out of me, man. I can't stand that. Like, we're getting to the day and age where, like, dude, why are we still acting like things don't exist around kids? You know what I mean? Like, there's a time and a place, sure, to like have a conversation with them about things like that, but you can't just go through life pretending something doesn't exist in the world. I mean, the world exists, things happen in the world, and people need to understand how the world works, or else they're just gonna be left behind. They're gonna be a step behind a lot of other people in society in general. You know what I'm saying? And I know plenty of people that were sheltered from a lot of shit, like weren't allowed to watch certain movies, like view certain content, whatever it was, and it's because of that they were just like that creates resentment, right? That creates rebellion. That creates, I mean, people that just generally go through life just not understanding how a lot of shit works.
The people that I knew from childhood that were raised the most conservatively or were like, make sure not to watch certain rated movies until you're that age or whatever, or even further than that. They're the horniest motherfuckers that I know. And it's like, there's no, if anything, it exacerbates it. You made it more taboo and therefore more sexy.
Yeah, I mean, that is where it goes, right?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, everyone reacts to things differently, but when something is forbidden for so long, I mean, hey, conservatives, it's literally in the Bible, forbidden fruit. There's a reason we fucking eat apples, okay? Like,
yeah,
it was so forbidden, we wanted it.
Get
Suppression.
that juicy.
Suppression is not a healthy thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, I feel like this whole Twitch hot tub thing is a similar idea of like, you're trying to suppress hot tubs, you're trying to like pretend they don't exist or to push them away. And that's not going to do anything.
You're only making them stronger.
Yeah.
It's, there's just this constant, like, there's in the history of humanity, we just hit an inflection point where we're just going to stop acting like sex is a thing that happens, right? It's like, oh, hush, hush, sex doesn't happen, guys. It's like, dude, we fucking exist because sex exists. All right?
No, that's not true. They're storks.
Colin.
I've seen the
Colin,
storks.
no. Test tube. I'm from a test tube, right?
Yeah. We all get dropped into
stork.
our parents' fireplaces by storks.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone has a fireplace.
And everyone has a fireplace and a chimney.
Yeah. I mean,
You
we're
need it for the
millennials.
stork. You need it for Santa.
Guys, okay, wait, I just had a revelation. Do you guys know why millennials aren't having kids? It's because all of us are renting and none of us have fireplaces, so the storks have nowhere to drop
The stork
babies
don't know what
into.
to do.
Oh, I thought it was because global warming is destroying the planet and there are people who are afraid about bringing children into a world like that.
No, Robert, it's obviously
Oh.
the storks, you dumb shit.
That makes
thought-
sense, yeah.
I thought it was because rent is like $1,200 and the minimum wage is $7.25.
Oh, that's cute. Where are you finding it for $1,200?
I know, right? Not here.
Yeah.
Not anywhere.
Daley, that's stupid. You just need to get a second job, okay? Work harder.
Oh, sorry.
Pull
I'm
yourself
not
up by
working
your
hard enough. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
I
Or
need to, maybe I should start a hot tub stream.
or get a third job so you can buy that PS3.
The 3.
Yeah, the
PS3.
PS3 from 15, 20 years ago.
And final question to bring it all back to the gamers, right? Is we've hinted at it throughout this episode, but I can't help but feel that a lot of this discussion is charged because it's related to Twitch as a gaming streaming platform, right?
Yeah.
So we've seen a lot of sexism in the games industry, both like on a professional level, like look at Ubisoft, right? But even on a more like creative level with like Aloy or Tomb Raider 2013, right? Or Ellie from The Last of Us 2.
Where's her tits? She grew up.
Yep, exactly. So do you feel like this Twitch hot tub thing is a weird extension of just how toxic and chauvinist some gaming spaces are?
If Twitch was based upon like people that like movies hang out here, I don't think we'd have the same level of sexism. I think they're inherently tied, yes.
Yeah, I think this lends itself to like an even bigger conversation around like what is it about video games and the greater gaming community that just leans into this whole sexism
fuck
thing.
Women, but also I want to fuck women while also saying fuck women.
Yeah,
same.
Dude, I mean, this is a gigantic psychological study to me. It's just interesting. Because words like gatekeeping come to mind, like the concept of change in this thing, because games were developed and made by a lot of men, right? Quite frankly, I mean, it was a very male dominated space with few exception, as it was coming up. And so like the way games were made, the way women were portrayed, the way that a lot of communities were just male dominated, right? And a lot of those people not being okay with letting women into the community for, I don't know, a lot of different reasons. I don't know. I feel like this is just a really large conversation behind like why sexuality in games to begin with. And now a lot of that has just led to what we see in Twitch now.
This is what I wrote my thesis from my undergrad on. Linked below? Question mark, maybe?
If
I can link it below.
Share it. Be my guest.
I called it the vicious cycle.
Yeah.
The vicious cycle. How edgy.
Vicious cycle.
The vicious. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah. It's just, it's an endlessly interesting conversation for me. But like, yeah, I really wonder where it truly stems from. Yeah,
I don't know. It's tough. One thing I think about a lot is it's this one Twitter interaction I saw with a fellow games journal where he's in a similar mind space as me, or as many of us here, at least around this table, in terms of how the quote the gamers can really suck a chode sometimes because they're just so fucking like just assholes, right?
I love how delicately you put that.
Yeah. I mean, you're not mincing words here, Robert.
Yeah, and then he got tweeted back from someone saying, hey, I don't like when you use the gamers as a blanket term, and it's kind of offensive to like a lot of other people who identify as gamers but aren't sexist or racist. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's true, that's fair. And I fall into that same trouble too, right, of saying the gamers as a blanket statement. But then that also brings up the question is, how can the gaming space like it has to get to a point where it's easy for you to mentally assign the gamers as just a blanket statement for a generally sexist, racist group, right? And I just think about all these headlines that are coming out, like with the Aloy thing, with this Twitch thing, with Ubisoft making yet another apolitical Far Cry 6. And it's all just so weirdly dominated by this conservative voice that I think a lot of us don't notice until it bubbles to the surface, which like the surface of your hot tub, right? Which is exactly what this Twitch stream thing feels like to me. It's the gaming community coming to terms with the fact that it is very politically divided, but it doesn't want to admit it, nor does it want to see that.
Yeah. And maybe it'll go into it a little bit in my thesis linked below, but there is like that it is almost identity politics at that point, because it's like the people that identify, like the people who are identifying the hardest as gamers are the ones making like the post about Aloy not looking feminine enough, or the people that are like, we need to make sure Twitch is a sacred place that worships at the altar of gaming
And only gaming.
And only gaming. So until those voices become the very minority, the very, very minority, there's going to be the association with gamer and sexism.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Gamergate, just another example.
Yeah, I think as video games continue to advance in technology, and it's possible to then tell more and more complex and nuanced stories, right? Because you're always going to have, creatives that want to push the medium, right? And just dive deeper into certain themes. And inherently with creativity and telling narratives, you're going to dive even deeper onto certain parts of the political spectrum. We're only going to see more division is really what I'm getting at. We're going to see more complicated conversations being had. I think I think The Last of Us Part 2 was actually a fantastic example of that. How
that was one of our OG podcasts.
Yes. But I think that is one of those things where it's like we're only going to get more of that. We're only going to see more. And because, as people tell more complex stories, as people create things that are more of a reflection of life as we know it, and like, the human story, we're going to get more people that are inherently against it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, and it makes sense too. I mean, as you guys know, there's never been a politics in game. No game ever do politic or say anything politically.
No, especially not the new Far Cry game.
And frankly, when a woman is leading a video game, I get a little triggered because it's like, it's not a man, But nah, yeah, the gaming space is such a weird thing to be in sometimes. And this Twitch thing, I think, is a very Twitch Prime example of of that shit. But I think it's a good time for us to bring this episode to a wrap, to a close. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you liked it. We hope you learned something maybe, or it gave you a little bit of food for thought while you sit in your hot tub and stream from it, I guess. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, any thoughts you have about these hot tubbers on Twitch, you can email those things to us at everythinginpod@gmail.com, or you can tweet to us at everythinginpod. We read all the comments for both. We check out all the emails, so let us know your thoughts. We'd love to know what you think. We will be back next week with another episode of Everything in Poderation, and we hope to see you then. Bye-bye.
I'm gonna figure out how to turn on the bubbles on this thing.
One day.
Now I need to make an inflatable hot tub with jets built into it. I think it would sell like hotcakes.
Inflatable jet tub.
I swear it's real. I swear.
Dude, like,
the thing.
How many millennials can actually afford hot tubs? Let's be real.
How many millennials can afford Rent? The musical, like the DVD musical.
Damn it! I wanted to cut there.